My name's Jen and I'm a national color artist with Colors by Gina. I have been with the company for 5 years now, and today I'm here to show you a class. We're going to be doing espresso. So think of like rich brown tones, but cool tones at the same time. I'm going to be using a braided balayage technique, and I'm also going to be using like kind of an espresso martini vibe. So it's going to be like the light will influence different hair color, like ribbons throughout the hair with that braided balayage look. Okay, so I want to show you real quick how brassy she is. She has so much warmth in her hair. She's got like some coppery, some yellow, some orange tones and vibes going on. So we're going to cool her down. So I'm going to be using the series Natural. We're going to be using probably this darkest level 3.0, and that's dark natural brown. I don't want to go too dark because I don't want it to look black. This is like almost black comparatively, so a little bit lighter, really richen her up. And then I'm going to be using the 9.1 mixed with the 8.1. And this is 9B and 8B. And the reason being is because she has so much brass going on, I need to cool that down. And since that's orange toned, I want to use something in the Blue Cool series to help counteract that and to give it a tone that's going to complement this level 3.0. Okay guys, I just went to pull the color from my cabinets and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't see 3.0, but I will show you a trick, no worries. We're going to be mixing 4.0 and 2.0, and that will give you the median shade if you use equal parts at 3.0. I'm going to be mixing that 1 to 1.5 ratio with 10 volume color producer. That is because we're doing tone on tone and I do want it to be permanent and I don't want it to fade as much. For the 8.1 and the 9.1, we're going to be using 5 volume color producer mixed 1 to 1.5 ratio, because that is going to be essentially like a toner that I'm going to be, with the braided balayage, you know, some of those parts will be left out, some of those streaks. So I don't want those to be too dark, and I want them to be still have a light cast to it, but I want to change the tone, but I don't want it to be darker like the rest of the hair. It's going to be showing and shifting that, like giving the martini espresso look that we're going for, like multifaceted. So I'm gonna go get mixed up and I'll be back. Okay guys, what we're gonna do is section our client. I have pre-sectioned her into 3 sections. We're going to do it based on her natural part. She's the center girly. We're gonna take it from the apex to behind the ears on both sides, and then this back is going to remain one large section. We are going to do a global root touch-up with the 3.0 so that we can give her a root, shadow root all throughout. I'm using the Colors by Gina bowl, which I really like because it has these ribs on it and it helps like remove excess color. And then on the bottom it has lines, like also more ribbing for mixing that color together easily. And then I'm using her brush. Colors by Gina brush is nice and tapered. And so if you're using it for like balayage, like with even lightening, you'll get that nice feathered look on the tip because the brush is tapered. And I've been using my brushes for months, over and over and over, and they maintain the quality. The bristles are still nice and soft. I don't see any jagged edges. And if I do, I just snip it off with the scissors. But these are really high quality hair color brushes. I'm going to just start at the top. Be a little easier for me. As long as I never really start in the front, because that hair color tends to develop darker faster around that hairline. Those little baby hairs tend to pick it up. So that's just a little pro tip. I usually start at the apex and work my way down, and then I will work towards the front when I'm doing a global application. Big, wide sections. This is how I also complete a root touch-up faster. I tend to not split the back into 4 quadrants and just do one really large section. It literally cuts off a few minutes of time. And when you're working like me, and I power book, so I'm having a client doing color while another color is processing. It really helps speed up the timing of things.
to the side, you're going to do the same thing. Root touch up about 1 inch all the way around. I like to create my border first. Helps keep things nice and neat. The braided balayage comes into play. I'm going to take sections horizontally along the back, and what we're going to do is I want to actually zigzag it. So I'm zigzagging it to give it even more variations. So what I'm going to do now is create a weave based off of this parting. So I'll take another zigzag weave, but you need to make it based on your how much blonde or how much light or how much of that cool color that we're gonna put in there, how much you want showing. So I think this looks like a good start because I do want this to be primarily a dark, deep color like the espresso vibes, but I do want a hint of that light cast through it. So I'm going to take this section, I'm going to separate, this would be the lighter, this is going to be the darker. I'm going to put these sections that are the lighters with a clip, and it's going to help me remember my sectioning and my parting and what I'm doing as far as what color goes where. So I'm going to put a clip on each side, and it's easiest to have the clips facing the outside so that I can easily add the next section of hair into that. And I'm using large sections, so maybe 1 inch, and I'm going to just take a really deep zigzag, and then I'm going to zigzag another section and split that out. And this is going to create, so there's not any major streaks or stripes, those zigzag blends, we're doubling down and we're creating 2 zigzag blends. That way we really aren't going to see any lines of demarcation, and everything's going to look nice and blended with hints of that light cast of color, not like, oh my gosh, her hair's chunky. So I'm just taking some deep weaves, some macro weaves. This will all be light. I'm going to put that inside the clip. And then all of this down here eventually will be colored dark. So those are the sections and how you do that. I'm going to follow up the head, continue doing that same technique. So I'm going to take another zigzag weave, but I don't want that light color to get lost because it's such a small section. So I'm going to make sure to adjust what I'm going to section out now. I'm just going to probably take even a little bit deeper. And then I'm going to clip it into that light section that we had in the back. We're going to clip it right in there, and this will fall down. This will be the dark. The section that we clipped back will be the light. We're going to repeat zigzags. And again, maybe just a little deeper, so you don't lose those blonde, that accent highlight in there that we're doing. I'm going to clip that top section into the back. This stays down. this is all going to be dark that's laying down. So essentially we're giving her a little framing of the dark, and the light will sit behind it. My client didn't want to be light right against her face. All right, we got 2 more sections. You're going to repeat the other side. All light, clip it back. So now all my light sections are together. So I'm even gonna make it a little easier for me to see that. I'm gonna twist them together. Later on we're gonna braid it, but twisting it together helps me remember this is the light. I'm always dropping down that front little piece because I don't want blonde on her front. So keep that in mind, placement. In the front, I'm taking about 5 to 6 deep macro weaves. Okay, so now we're going to take all of that hair that's going to remain dark, or we're going to color it dark, and then we're going to twist together all our lights. So we know what we're doing and we're organized. Okay everyone, we are ready to apply the hair color. Go ahead and take some sections. Remember, everything that's laying down is dark. Everything else will be the light. So this is going to be the 3.0, and everything left in the clips is going to be the 9.1 mixed with the 8.1. We're just going to do an application of color from, we're going to meet where we did the root color, and we're just going to pull it through the ends. This is the easiest part about it. The sectioning takes the longer part. We're going to braid this to get it out of the way and keep it nice and neat. You know we've already colored it. Always keep a towel because this is kind of messy. Now we're going to color these front areas dark. The ones that are laying down will be dark. Braid this and keep it out of the way. And we're going to color this all dark. To apply the light color to the rest. This is the 9.1 mixed equal parts with 8.1 in 5 volume color producer. And that's a 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio. little hair compared to the dark color, this is going to be just an accent. This is not a focal. This is just to make it luminous and multifaceted. Make sure you kind of blend towards the root with your fingers. Use your fingers for blending. The section is super tiny, but we're still going to make a braid. When it's all complete, it should look something like this. You're going to let it process for 35 minutes at room temperature.
Hi everyone, I'm here to show you the final look for the Espresso Martini hair color class. She has ribbons of light that you can see. That's with the braided balayage technique. We used 9.1 plus 8.1. That gave us almost a highlighted look. And then the deep, dark, rich brown is the 3.0. You can really see it gives a multifaceted look so that light reflects and it's not flat and it's multi-tonal. I'm also so excited to share with you guys that I recently am going to be opening a second location in Las Vegas. I'm opening Curl and Color Studio, and that's going to be at Phoenix Salon Suites on Blue Diamond. I'll be sharing a suite while I build my clientele, mainly focusing on my curly girls, but all hair is welcome. I would love to see you guys post pictures of your work if you try this technique. Go ahead and tag Colors by Gina, and stay tuned. We'll see you in a few months for another class.